evening, everyone. This is Karen Donovan, your host of the GNW show, and welcome and thanks so much for tuning in. Tonight is our Wednesday hump day. We're halfway through another week. The reason we started this show was to cheer people up during what we thought was going to be a short pandemic, which is unfortunately turned into a lengthy problem. But in any event, we shall go on, right? We will prevail. And we do this show to put a smile on your face and a little fun in your week and help you get through the rest of a troubled week. Every week, we have a session called Strategies for a Happy Life. Tonight, I want to ask you this question. Do I control my thoughts or do my thoughts control me? Stay tuned and let's find out. So that's the question of the hour. Do I control my thoughts or do my thoughts control me? And we are glad you joined us because we've been kind of going through a really cool book. And I actually have a copy of the live book, even though I'm reading it on Kindle. But, you know, sometimes the real thing is nice. It's called The Happiness Trap. And, you know, some people said to me, yeah, I want to catch some of that happiness. I mean, it's a simple thing, right? I just look around and hope something makes me happy. But there's a little bit of a paradox to that. And that is that when you're looking for things to make you happy, sometimes that's the trap. And so we've been sort of talking about that, trying to decipher what it is that we experience when we have feelings that aren't quite as happy as we wish they were. And I give the example in my Monday morning wake up blog that I send out to folks, free, of course, and you can have a free copy. I'll tell you how in a little bit. I talk about the syndrome of the beach ball, and pretend that you are, you know, at the beach or at the pool. It's a nice sunny day, and you have this beach ball and you're holding it under water. You want it to stay down because that beach ball is those unhappy things that happen to all of us eventually, sometimes. But you want to hold it down because it's a nice day and you want to have fun with your friends and enjoy the water and splashing in the sun and everything. But the longer you hold that beach ball down, you know what happens. Sooner or later, you get distracted or your arms get tired and boop, up comes the ball and there are those feelings again. It's almost impossible to keep them down. So what do you do when you come across those feelings, are hit by them? Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a child, maybe it's an aggravating neighbor, maybe it's an aggravating coworker, somebody, and you think, well, what do I do? Do I ignore them or do I confront them, or, you know, how do I deal with that? And, you know, many times it's neither, you know, because I gave the example once before, in our lives every day, probably if you picture thoughts that go through your mind and experiences that go through your mind are like tennis balls coming at you on a tennis ball court. Do you think you could hit 3,553 balls every day? I don't think so. I think that you would have to take one or two and take aim at them and address them, and the rest of them just let them go by. So the thought is to somehow deal with those feelings other than, analyzing them. Well, what do we do when we have a problem? What do? We have some certain actions that we do. I'll name a few, and maybe some of these will apply to you, some may not. But, well, I feel down, so I'm going to have a chocolate bar. I feel down, so I'm going to eat a pint of ice cream. Things are not going my way, so I can't wait tonight. I'm going out and I am tying one on. I'm getting sloshed. All right. What about analyzing? I think of this problem and I am going to figure out an answer for it. I am going to continue thinking about it and dissecting it until I come up with an answer. Or I didn't hear anything about any problem. I'm just going to avoid it. Does any of those sound familiar? Oh, I'm just stupid. We say things to ourselves all the time. We sabotage ourselves. So which of these actions do you think you take? And maybe in a day's time, you may want to observe yourself and take note of how you deal with problems that come up, with that beach ball that keeps popping up. And in the end, as I thought about it, I thought of some very, very good words of wisdom. Let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But those words sometimes might be the answer. Taking a deep breath, not feeling like you have to judge the feeling that comes over you, the stress, the anxiety, the anger. Have you been angry at anyone lately? I know I have. And so take a deep breath and think about just letting it be. And maybe that might be the answer. And it might be another strategy that we can all practice to have a happy life. Okay, now we're on to another topic which is related to what we're just talking about, and I'm sure it's something you're going to enjoy. So, as I was reading the book that I've been talking about, The Happiness Trap, and thinking about those overwhelming feelings and inevitable situations that come across our lives every day, whether we ask for them or not, they still come, and they have a tendency to mess up our quest for happiness, right? But we decided we're just going to let it be. And as the famous song by the Beatles came across my mind when I was reading that, I started doing a little research on the song. So first of all, you know that Paul McCartney wrote that song. I don't know if you knew that or not, but you probably did. But did you know the song, it starts out, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Now, I don't know about you, but I always thought that was a biblical reference to Jesus's mother, right? Well, come to find out, there's someone else who had a mother named Mary, and that was Paul McCartney. And Paul McCartney's mother died when he was very young. I think he was around maybe 14 years old. And so he had a dream one night, and he was very kind of anxious, and he had some of those feelings like we were talking about. And the dream, his mother came to him and she said, Paul, don't worry. Everything is going to be fine. Just let it be. And so when he woke up, guess what he wrote? And that's how the song got started. I thought that was very interesting. I did not know that at all. I also did not know one other interesting tidbit, and that is, and you may know this, but I didn't, that John Lennon hated that song. And when they were doing their last album, they were pretty, by that time they were almost ready to break up. And the name of the album was supposed to be Get Back to Where You Once Belonged, right? But they changed the title of the album to Let It Be, because they just figured, or I don't know. I mean, it seems like they figured that, all the strife and the aggravation and the conflict between the Beatles, just let it be. And, that's really wise, I think, in the end. I just am amazed that there's so much depth there. People think maybe of some groups as being kind of superficial, but in this particular song, and people, of course, might read more into it now than even then. So as I said, John Lennon hated the song, but guess who loved the song? I bet this tidbit will be very interesting to you. Who loved the song was Aretha Franklin. Not only did she love the song, but she did the song on an album, and she released it 2 months before the Beatles did. Go figure, right? I guess they must have given her the rights to sing it. But anyway, she did a couple Beatles songs, I think, on that album. So check it out if you're interested in that kind of a thing. I have some friends who are, and one in particular, our musicologist, realtor Mike Riccio, my friend. He's into that kind of stuff. He probably could tell us a lot more than I could, but I did a little research. Anyway, to close out our segment on music inspiration, I just thought it would be very appropriate, especially with all of the aggravation that we are all going through right now, with different announcements about the state of things with the virus, etc. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she's standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. That's a mother for you. But then the second verse is really cool. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. So we'll all be hopeful that there is an answer, and let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Simple words of wisdom, let it be. Thanks for letting me share that with you. And now on to a burning question that you or someone you know might have. Now, you know that we always relate everything to our topic. So let it be, but it has to be about real estate. Why does it have to be about real estate? Because that's the topic I really know. The other interesting stuff, about happiness and aggravation and self-help. That's all fun, and I'm learning with you. So I hope you enjoy the journey with me on that. But real estate, I got this one. So here's the thing. Let it be. What things, here's the question tonight. What home improvements do not pay off when you go to sell your house that you should just let be? See, I figured it out. I got it. I've got it included. Okay, now here's the answer to that question. I've got actually 4 subjects on that, 4 topics. One is a really high kitchen upgrade. Like, in other words, yeah, people like a nice kitchen. Don't get me wrong. And that's one of the highest returns for your investment. However, if you do like sub-zero appliances and marble countertops and you go top of the line where you spend like mega bucks, you're not going to get that back. So you shouldn't do that. Now, you can, of course, do a really nice job with some granite and some stainless steel and, so on and so forth, appliances. But if you do the really high end, that's something that you should not do, and you should just let it be. Number 2, taking away a room in a house. Like, for example, you have a 3-bedroom house and you take away one of the bedrooms and you make a big master bathroom, or you make the master bedroom bigger and you end up only with 2 bedrooms. That is a no-no. You should let it be 3 bedrooms. Okay, listen to me. I know my stuff. Okay, number 3. We all know pretty much this one. Wall-to-wall carpet. You should not put in wall-to-wall carpet. If you have wood flooring, if you don't have wood flooring, do your vinyl plank flooring or your tile flooring. But skip the wall-to-wall carpet. Okay. Now, number 4 and last but not least is a conglomeration of several things, which you're going to say, Karen, you're out of your mind when I tell you this. Okay, these are the things you should let be. Well, you should not worry about thinking that they're going to improve the value of your house. All right, you ready? The roof, the heating and air conditioning, and the electric. Now, why? I mean, it's kind of important to have a roof, air conditioning, heating, and electric. However, these things do not really increase the value of your home. They only bring it up to standard, folks. I'm telling you this. When I hear a homeowner say, oh, I have a new roof, I have new windows, I have new air conditioning. Yes, those are all nice things, but people expect a roof, they expect heat and air conditioning, they expect windows. So it doesn't matter, like you should, if you're, okay, let me put a caveat on that now. If your roof is good, not leaking, and your windows are like, okay, they don't have to be all double pane. I mean, if they're broken, obviously fix them. And your heat and AC are operational and they'll pass an inspection, then just let them be. You do not have to upgrade them to the new latest and greatest thing, right? So that is our answer to what things do you just want to let be in your house. And now, for our final event of the evening, we go to this fun place. Okay, and you say, Karen, how can I play the trivia in advance? And I say, well, shoot me an email at karen@homesbydonovan.com, and I will send you our Monday morning wake-up blog, which includes the entry form for our trivia contest. And it's simple to fill out, easy to return, and you will know if you have answered the question correctly and just how brilliant you are. So today we're talking about letting it be. And did your mother ever say, don't touch that thermostat again? You're turning it down. It's too hot. It's too cold. So what is the temperature, the ideal optimal temperature that you should let be for when you are sleeping? Is it A, between 52 and 54 degrees, B, between 75 and 78 degrees, yes, C, 60 to 67 degrees, or D, 68 to 72 degrees? Well, I was rather surprised by this answer because I would have chosen either 75 to 78 is pretty warm, but I would have probably chosen 68 to 72. But actually, what we're hearing from the experts is that the optimal temperature to sleep is 60 to 67 degrees. But apparently what happens is the coldness helps you have a good night's sleep, a restful sleep, and you wake up refreshed. And by the way, do you know that how many hours of sleep we all need to get minimum? I didn't ask this question in a trivia question lately. We need at least 7 hours sleep. So if you're not getting at least 7 hours sleep a night, then you are what is called sleep deprived. And it wreaks havoc on your health. So folks, do me a favor tonight. If you do nothing else, turn down your thermostat and get to bed on time. And that's why I moved my show to 7:30, because my husband and I would like to make an announcement. We have joined the 5 o'clock club. And that means that we get up in time to start our day at 5 a.m. I never thought I would hear myself say that, but it's really cool. And you can think of some very neat things to do and inspiring things to do in the morning. So this is our show for this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you had fun, had a little laugh, learned a little something, and most of all, that you have a little bit more of a smile on your face than you did when we started. Until next time, make sure and stay safe. I guess we're going to be wearing our masks again soon. Be well and make it a great rest of the week. Bye-bye. It's the Good News Wednesday show. Come on, kids, it's time to roll. Tell everybody that you know. Watch the Good News